The San Francisco 49ers and Denver Broncos joint practice. Next up, football. Kind of real NFL football. Preseason week number 1, 49ers and Broncos on Saturday. Final podcast before that. I'm going to be going on vacation, so more on that coming up in this episode. Mykel Williams, knee injury scare, Bosa back and dominant, and maybe a rough day for the San Francisco 49ers all around, and more on today's Locked On 49ers.
You are Locked On 49ers, your daily San Francisco 49ers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On 49ers. Brian Peacock and Eric Crocker at BD Peacock at Coach Crocky. Thanks, everybody, for making us your first listen on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Love our everydayers. Thanks for hanging with us, our core audience. And now we get some actual football. It's all been worth it all off season long. We get to see the fruition of that. Interesting day on the practice field for the 49ers and Denver Broncos at that joint practice as teams get ready for week preseason number 1. I do want to thank all the everydayers and the new listeners alike. So please hit that subscribe button on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. Before we get into the actual practice reports and what happened on the field, we got to talk about some of the injury stuff, good news and bad news. And to be honest with you, kind of mostly good news, especially when you hear about the first round pick, defensive end Mykel Williams going down with a knee injury. And that'll make you hold your breath, whether you're there and you see it live or you're just reading about it or hearing about it. And some folks might pull over in their car if they hadn't heard about this yet. And so it's an injury scare, but I think in the end, good news for Mykel Williams in that the imaging does not show structural damage. I want to get the quote right from Kyle Shanahan on Mykel Williams' knee injury. Quote, he had a good exam, hopefully just hyperextended his knee. It looked good when we examined it. So Kyle Shanahan just saying the same thing twice, basically. Good exam, looked good when we examined it. Hopefully just a hyperextended knee there for Mykel Williams going down with a knee injury, which, you know, you're crossing your fingers. He might be out for a little while. And you got to get this team healthy and on the field for week 1, first of all, even though you would like to see the rookies on the field as much as possible. Very unlikely we're going to see Mykel Williams now in preseason week number 1, which is a bummer. You always want to see that first round pick on the field in the first preseason game, Croc. So we're not going to get to see him. Hopefully see a lot of the other rookies, though, on the field for the Niners. I imagine they're going to play a lot because I don't think the starters are going to be out there much. I think the joint practice was for the starters.
No, I think the biggest thing with Mykel Williams, when he does return, whenever that is, and the first time he really steps on the field, live action, first NFL game, you don't want him thinking about the knee injury or the hyperextension. You just want him out there just playing, being himself. And, I mean, heck, his last year in college, he was playing on a high ankle sprain. Dealing with that. That's a lot to deal with and have to play through. So you started off your NFL career and you're already a little banged up. Not ideal for him. Now, for the 49ers, they're like, all right, he'll be back. He'll be ready to go. Doesn't look like anything too serious. But, of course, selfishly, all those 49er fans want to see him out there running around on the field.
He had a knee ankle injury as well in this very camp. So, like, you see all these injuries kind of stacking up. He's able to play through some of the injuries, missed some time last year in college because of the high ankle sprain, not a high ankle sprain this time, just a regular sprained ankle apparently. And now a knee injury, hyperextension. Again, none of them catastrophic injuries, but you hope that your first round pick doesn't have the injury bug biting him constantly. And it's really hard to develop your talent and become the player you're supposed to be if you're constantly injured and not able to get on the field, not able to play at your full potential, even if you're playing through something. So yeah, got to get him right. And we may not see him for, at least the first preseason game. And who knows if he's back and able to play in preseason week number 2 or number 3. But the big important thing is to get everybody ready for the regular season. And even better news than the good examination on Mykel Williams' knee is that Nick Bosa and Kyle Juszczyk as well back at practice and getting a couple days off and with the day off and the walkthrough kind of getting multiple days off to get them ready for this joint practice. So I think it was just rest and obviously there was a little bit of an Achilles thing with Kyle Juszczyk, but Juszczyk was on the field in the joint practice and best of all, Nick Bosa was on the field for the joint practice. And better even yet was that he was his dominant self going up against former 49er Mike McGlinchey and apparently beating him like a drum all day. So if there was any 49er out there winning, it was Nick Bosa, which is a great sign for the 49ers 2025 season.
That's exciting to see. Now, you expect that, but Mike McGlinchey is a guy who's getting paid a ton of money to play tackle for the Denver Broncos. And for 49ers, you got to find some positive spins on this practice because a lot of what's coming out, it was a challenging day for the San Francisco 49ers, as you expect, especially on the defensive side of the ball for the Denver Broncos. They're terrific, and I know we'll get more into their defense, but Nick Bosa, that's the guy. And there's been a lot of speculation. He's one of the top edge rushers, and everybody wants to talk about Michael Parsons and what he has going on, and he's going to reset the market. Myles Garrett, he got paid a ton of money. Max Crosby, he got paid a ton of money. There's Watt, he's got paid. So a lot of the top guys getting paid. Where does Nick Bosa land within all that? It's almost like he's kind of the forgotten guy. So I think he's kind of tuning up to have a really good year, dare I say, bounce back year. It's not like he had a terrible season last year by any means. No, he played very well. But now let's get back to being that dominant defensive player of the year, Nick Bosa, that we all definitely want to see.
And it's so huge for the defense, too, to have Bosa and Fred Warner playing at that level because Fred Warner, before his injury last year, was also playing at a defensive player of the year type level. Like, he was the best player on the field for the 49ers in the first 4 weeks of the season before he got hurt. And he was able to play through that injury. It wasn't exactly the same the rest of the way. To have both of those guys to be able to prop up the rest of that young defense and a lot of new faces on that defense would be absolutely massive for the 49ers. And really key to the success of the 49ers is both Fred Warner and Nick Bosa having those seasons together at the same time. Darrell Luter and Marcus Siegel both departed at points in practice, according to Nick Wagner of ESPN, who always does some great post-practice breakdowns. They're both cleared of their concussion, so good news again there. Looking at players that did not practice, it looks like Renardo Green, Juwan Jennings, Jacob Cowing, Jair Brown, Isaac Arendo, Evan Anderson, Kevin Givens, Sam Okwuonu, and Jordan James had a broken finger and apparently is going to miss a little bit of time now because they're going to have to fix that broken finger, which means for the preseason week 1 game, Croc, at running back, Isaac Arendo is already dealing with a shoulder injury. I can't imagine Christian McCaffrey is going to play either. So we're going to see Amir Abdullah and the undrafted rookie out of Cincinnati running back Corey Kiner out there, and probably I guess the starter would be who else is even
Taylor?
running back?
Patrick Taylor?
Yeah, there you go. Patrick Taylor's probably going to get the start, and then they're going to go straight to either Abdullah or an undrafted rookie running back. So we're not going to see anything even close to what we should see at running back unless Christian McCaffrey plays. And I'd be kind of shocked, to be honest with you, if Christian McCaffrey is out there for the 49ers. So there you go. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Yeah, that's it. Those are the healthy running backs. They might have to add a running back before the game, to be honest with you.
That's how it happens. You start having guys go down, they start cutting guys, and
start
now
cutting
somebody
corners.
who's been waiting for this opportunity the whole life. They're gonna get Eric Crocker. All right, you don't want that. I will say I am excited a little bit to see Amir Abdullah in the 49ers offense. You know, I had a buddy of mine who I coached with last year at Edison, and he was talking about the 49ers and talking about like their running backs, and he's like, man, you know who would be really good? He was like, 49ers, they didn't even have to go and pay Christian McCaffrey a ton of money. I'm like, all right, hold on, calm down on the Christian McCaffrey talk here. But he's like, they didn't have to. And they should have went and got buddy Amir Abdullah. He can do all that. He was like, he would fit in Kyle Shanahan scheme perfectly. So I think we might be a few years past, like, oh, you should have gotten Amir Abdullah, right? A little bit older now. But he's the one that has a terrific skill set. And even though he's a little bit older now, I'm still excited to just see how does he look in the 49ers offense? Like, how is he running the ball? Pass catching skills. Are they what they were at the beginning of his career?
So, yeah, 49ers thin. Too many injuries to count, really. They added to it, but not significant injuries, which is good news from the joint practices. And really, I'm kind of disappointed a lack of fights. Thought there might be a fight out there. I think maybe the 49ers and Broncos rosters are too friendly with each other. They're all joking around and having a good time and hugging, and Dre Greenlaw, and who didn't practice because he's Dre Greenlaw and he's going to be banged up, and it's going to be that way, I think, for him. Hufanga, I don't think Hufanga even practiced, did he? I saw him out there.
Yeah, neither one of them.
Yeah. So neither one of those guys practiced. McGlinchey was at least out there and was having a tough time with Nick Bosa, obviously. So more on the reports specifically. I think we got to talk about Brock Purdy and the 49ers offense pretty much getting handled by a really good Denver Broncos defense at the 49ers Broncos joint practices. Next. This episode of Locked On 49ers brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. And of course, if you're ever managing money with a partner, with a spouse, and you got shared accounts, right? It really makes it less stressful to have everything out there so everyone can see it and everyone knows what's going on with not only personal accounts, but shared accounts. And really tracking spending is a big one too, because you realize how quickly a lot of these things that you probably don't need every single day start adding up quick. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year. All right, Croc, taking a look at some of the practice reports here, and Brock Purdy threw a couple of interceptions, which is not the worst thing. And according to Kyle Shanahan, even though there were, and look, I'm looking at Broncos, Denver Broncos beat reporters. I'm looking at 49ers beat reporters, and almost unanimously they thought the Denver Broncos kind of won the day in total, and especially made life very difficult on the 49ers offense, both run and pass. Now, I think the first thing that happens is, okay, Brock Purdy throws 2 interceptions and everyone goes straight to Brock Purdy. But from the reports I've seen as well, a lot was because there was a lot of pressure. And if you can't run the ball and there's pressure on your quarterback, the quarterback is probably not going to perform extremely great in those conditions either. So it sounds like,
especially in a scenario where he's likely not going to utilize his legs.
Right. Yeah. And you're trying not to get hit, and you're not going to play a brand of football you might play in a regular season game either. It's like, okay, let's just get down, let's get rid of the ball, whatever it is. And you're going to try things in practice. Now, this isn't to make excuses for the offense or Kyle Shanahan or Brock Purdy here. It was a bad day for the 49ers offense that apparently bounced back a little bit later. But at the same time, it's a bigger problem for the 49ers than Brock Purdy throwing a couple of interceptions in a joint practice. I mean, the 49ers went to Super Bowls with their quarterback throwing interceptions in joint practices, right? It's not a new thing for the 49ers.
How much did Jimmy throw?
Did Jimmy throw 5? I believe 5 was the number.
Consecutively.
It was on consecutive throws.
Yeah, 5 consecutive throws, all picked off in the red zone, and the 49ers went to Super Bowl.
Was that one of the Super Bowl or NFC Championship game years? I can't remember exactly.
Super Bowl year.
It was a Super Bowl year. Okay, there you go.
Super Bowl year, coming off the whole ACL thing, if I'm not mistaken. So I wouldn't put too much stock into that. One of the things, right, because you listen to Kyle Shanahan kind of talk about it, and there was something key that he said there. It sounds like he wanted to. Oh, and by the way, Trent Williams not practicing, so one of the best offensive linemen not out there, which we expect him to miss games. So, all right, who's giving up some of the pressure? Hopefully, it's not my guy Spencer Burford, who I'm rooting for. All right, but he kind of alluded to the fact of the thought of putting him in difficult situations and almost wanted to see how he reacted to it. And for the most part, Kyle felt like he had a solid day. That's Kyle's words. Dominant defense by Denver. Like Denver Broncos. I'm everything I listened to. I'm talking about prior to today. Everything I've listened to, it's like they have the top defense, if not the top defense. It's like a top 3 defense. So you could expect it to be a little challenging. And it's going to be even more challenging when you're missing certain guys like Brandon Ayuk, who maybe could have potentially made it a little bit easier. Maybe not, because they got the best corner in the NFL, Patrick Surtain over there. But maybe he could have made it a little easier. Juwan Jennings, maybe he could have made it a little easier. Now you are trying to depend on Ricky Pearsall, who made a couple plays, but now you're like you are depending on Pearsall to be the guy that is going to help you get things clicking. Pearsall and Watkins and Robinson, right? Still George Kittle out there, but maybe that just the situation and circumstances made it a little bit more difficult for what Brock Purdy was able to consistently handle.
I think, was it Matt Barrows? I think Pearsall roughed up, I think was the way that, I want to double check now and make sure I got my beat right.
Is he going up against Patrick Surtain? Like, Pearsall's going to have a rough day against Surtain.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the scouting report on Pearsall too, is the play strength, and I think that's where it's going to be really key for Kyle Shanahan to scheme him open in ways and move him around and make sure he's off the line of scrimmage so DBs can't get their hands on him, because you got a 6'2" corner like Patrick Surtain. That's probably a bad matchup for Ricky Pearsall if he's able to get his hands on him and not able to let him off the line of scrimmage. But if you get him in motion, you get him moved, and you get him in space, Ricky Pearsall can uncover as good as anybody on the football team. And he's got pure hands. He's going to make a lot of plays for the 49ers. Play strength isn't Ricky Pearsall's strength as a football player. And so that's something that the 49ers are going to have to know. And that's just the way that you're going to have strengths and weaknesses for everybody. Right. And so that's just his game.
He's more, I think one of the comps I have for him, not because they're both white guys, but they just look the same to me, but like Adam Thielen. Right. And if you think about like what made Adam Thielen so good, a big part of it, right? And terrific pro guy, was a Division III guy, undrafted, but similar measurables, similar speed. One of the things I think really helped Thielen, there was Stephon Diggs on the other side.
Yeah. And
right now, Pearsall is being asked to beat Stephon Diggs. Like, that's not who he is. He, at least right now, he is more Adam Thielen. So it's like, man, I can win, but you can't ask me to win against this guy. I need somebody else to take the pressure off of me having to go up against him consistently and put me against Jahdae Barron, who he beat downfield. Like, put me against those guys that are not named Patrick Surtain.
Right. And I think even bigger too is that front. And if Trent Williams is not playing in which I assume he won't be playing in the preseason opener, like and it's a little bit harder to tell if it's going to be all the backup offensive linemen, but Purdy needs to have time. They need to be able to create some space in the running game for the entire offense to operate. So if it was a rough day, like the headline is Brock Purdy throws 2 interceptions, 49ers offense bad. But if it's the offensive line, because I'm hearing they're not able to run the ball either, he's constantly under pressure. That tells me they were getting beat up front by the Denver Broncos front. And that could be a problem for the 49ers. So that's something that can't be happening into the year as well. I've heard this as well, that content creators were saying the Denver Broncos were on the sideline laughing at us from Niner Goat in the chat. You never know what someone's laughing at, right? And I was talking about how they're kind of jovial to start the practice, and there's a lot of friends, and they're hugging it out. And there was the same reports about disrespecting Jimmy in some of those joint practices, right? Was it against the Lions?
Oh, yeah.
You know what it was? Yeah. And
there was a lot of disrespecting Jimmy. It might have been the Broncos.
And so, look, I don't know what they were laughing at. They weren't mic'd up. Were they laughing at I don't know. It's a joint practice, right? When it really matters in the regular season, we'll see. Kyle Shanahan's not scheming against their defense. This is a joint practice, right? I think they're having some fun, maybe. I think there's a lot of friendly people on both sides of the ball. Were they laughing at the 49ers? I have no idea.
I'll say this. You get these guys, these competitors in that type of space, there's going to be a lot of jawing going on. I don't think fans really know how much talking goes on in practice, in games, in any type of competition when it comes to like high-level guys. There are the people that are like very quiet, like randomly, but for the most part, a lot of jawing going on, like a lot, way more than fans would think. So for them to kind of be up close and be able to hear everything, I could see how like that could kind of be magnified to people, but it's not uncommon at all. And whoever's winning, they're just going to get, they're the team is just going to have to hear it. And it sounds like obviously from all accounts, 49ers just didn't get the better of the Broncos today. So Broncos talking it up, laughing, having jokes, yelling out stuff to the field. Like, I would expect that.
It's not for the faint of heart, Croc. If people knew what was really being said out there on the football field, I wonder what it's like to have the job of editor when a player is mic'd up and editing those segments. And how much, like, imagine what you get to hear that can't be.
There is so much. I bet there's a lot of gold. Like, there's just a lot of stuff where they're like, gosh, I wish I could use this. And I just cannot.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
man.
Next, let's talk a little bit more, a couple more camp reports. Another player shining for the San Francisco 49ers. And what we need to see in this preseason week number 1 game, 49ers Broncos. Next. This episode brought to you by 5 Hour Energy, new flavor transfusions. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor to your favorite golf drink, right? It's the most popular golf drink. Suddenly, like, out of nowhere, the transfusion, everyone's ordering transfusions on the golf course, but minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies, you're just making memories with friends, having a good time, this is a hole-in-one for your energy game. And let's be honest, some days on the course or a lot of times off of it, you need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. I know I need it if I'm going to play slow pitch softball. You get the late games, man. I used to love the late games, right? You have kids, late games get a little bit, I start dragging sometimes of those late games. 5 Hour Energy is the perfect time for it. Maybe you want to turn 18 holes into 36. I've been trying to walk the golf course, so that extra energy is absolutely key for me. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that's the number 5hourenergy.com. You can use our promo code LockedOnGolf to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid through September 30th on a one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Again, that is code LockedOnGolf. Get energized and the boost you need to power through. Order transfusion flavored 5 Hour Energy shots today. Jordan Watkins got deep, and I got to be honest, Croc, I sat up on my seat because there was a report from, I believe it was a Broncos reporter that was making its way around Twitter on Thursday that Jordan Watkins beat Patrick Surtain deep for a touchdown, beat him soundly. And then there's a lot of responses to it from other reporters who were like, yeah, that wasn't Patrick Surtain. It was one of the backup cornerbacks for the Denver Broncos. But still, it was one of the 49ers on offense that was making plays. Jordan Watkins, the rookie, he's got speed. Overall, has been pretty good camp for the 4th round pick out of Ole Miss, Crocs. So Jordan Watkins probably pretty high on the list of guys that should play a lot on Saturday that I can't wait to see.
No, definitely. I mean, young receivers, we know that typically, not just in the 49ers offense, but in just offenses around the league, it takes them a little bit longer to get going. But this is a guy that in the midst of still learning an offense, learning how to be a professional, learning how to play at the highest level, he's making plays. So if I'm Kyle Shanahan, all right, how do we build off of this? How do we build off of a guy who is learning, but man, we want to keep his confidence up. We see a certain playmaking ability. One of the comps that I thought, I saw for him was like Brandon Cooks. Now, not Brandon Cooks like 1-for-1, right? Brandon Cooks was a Biletnikoff Award winner from Stockton, California, Lincoln High School. Let's go. All right, but Biletnikoff Award winner went crazy. I don't know, 1,600 yards, 1,700 yards, whatever Brandon Cooks had in college. We're not saying that Watkins is that, but just kind of the way they move, the way they run, like there's some similarities. The way that Watkins probably will have to win at the NFL level. Again, maybe not Brandon Cooks, who was like, I don't know, he was like 1,000-yard receiver every year for like the first 7 or 8 years of his career, except for like one. All right, 209, let's go. All right, but Watkins has that similar type of way that he wins. So how do you build on that from his rookie year? How do you build on that during his rookie year? Right now, you're gonna need him. Like, I don't know when he's gonna play. Stephon Diggs tore his ACL. I want to say a week after Brandon Ayuk. Now, different total like injuries because it wasn't just an isolated ACL for Ayuk, but Stephon Diggs is out there. I mean, he's been running routes full speed. I saw him working out like in front of a castle or something like that. Like he's been going hard. He's practicing. He's doing all those things. Brandon Knight looks like he's a little bit further away. He's in street clothes still while being out there on the field. So we don't know when he's going to be back. You're going to need Watkins to step up and have some kind of role in this offense for the 49ers if they're going to be successful. And I think throwing him out there and him having a play against a premier defensive back, oh, man, that's really big for the confidence of a young football player.
Yeah, and not only Ayuk out, but suspension looming for Robinson for the first 3 weeks. The 49ers need players they trust at wide receiver that can play early. Can he prove to week 1 through 3 be someone that Kyle Shanahan trusts to put on the football field as a rookie? Because it's a pretty uncommon thing. So that's something he's going to have to prove in these preseason games. I do want to go to Purdy's quote about the day, and he was pretty honest about it. He said, I think they came out ready to roll to compete. You could feel them. They were in the backfield a couple of times and had a couple of sacks and obviously some TFLs that look like it's not like we weren't competing at all. We are, and there's things that we need to get better at. That's why we're practicing. But I also do think it was nice to have a long practice like that so that we practice, we get fatigued. And I think that's going to happen in games. You're not going to have a great first half, but you have to regroup. And then it's like, how are you going to finish? And apparently the 49ers did finish a lot better and were able to have a better second half of practice and bounce back. So obviously he said, I thought that was really good for us. So yeah, pretty, you can always go to Brock Purdy to be pretty honest about things and assessing things. And so I think that pretty much says it all about where the 49ers were in this practice. And you don't like your quarterback saying, though, it almost felt like they were more up for it than you were.
Yeah, that speaks to the culture of the 49ers right now. What is Kyle Shanahan telling them pre-practice? I know me, if it's me, hey, man, we're coming out here. We want to execute at a very high level. We want to dominate. We want to come out here and set the tone for what is going to be like the rest of the season. And when you kind of get your tail whipped a little bit, you got to reel it back in and just say, it was just a scrimmage. Hey, man, we saw some good things. But really, you want to walk out there and feel really good about what you saw. I don't know if 49er coaches could honestly say that. Like, did you come away a team again? This isn't a 49ers team that's coming off of a 13-4 NFC Championship appearance or Super Bowl appearance type. Like, this is a team coming off of a 6-10 season. And I want to say I saw it in the comments. One of the first few comments that was made in the chat. I think I'm lost on it now, but I saw someone say something to the likes of, and maybe I saw it on social media. This was a 6-10 team. The Broncos were a playoff team. Well, of course they kicked the 49ers, but there we go. 49ers were a 6-11 team. Like, you can't be mad. It's like, well, that's not what the 49ers standard has been. The standard has been a team that excels. It's a team that goes to conference championships and Super Bowls. So although they had the 6-11 record, you would like to come out the first time people see you again. It's like, oh, no, we're better. But you're all banged up. So it's hard to, I guess, go into it with that type of confidence. And maybe they were just looking for silver lining things to be happy or proud about. But the way it went, the way it's being reported, the injuries that happened, Mykel Williams limping off the field, it just wasn't a great day for the 49ers. Multiple interceptions by Brock. Just not a great day to really just the confidence of what you're doing right now.
And they get a chance to do it all again against the same team on Saturday, which is good news. And according to Brad Graham, friend of the program, I missed seeing Brad at training camp this year. He said Broncos in practice on a deep bomb touchdown, symbolic of the day of practice for the 49ers. So there you go. Not a great day for the 49ers at practice against the Denver Broncos. Hopefully they're up for the challenge on Saturday and preseason opener. Croc, real quick before we go, is there one thing you're looking for most on Saturday to see for the 49ers against those Broncos?
Gosh, I mean, a lot of what I would like to see, I feel like those guys are missing. I want to see Jordan James out there. Oh, what does it look like him running? Oh, he's not going to play.
Mykel
I would love to
Williams,
see.
right? You want to see a first round pick look like a first round pick, and he's not going to be out there after the
Not going to
hyperextended.
be out there. So you got to look for these little things. Like, let's see what West looks like. Alfred Collins, like, can they stop the run?
Plug
Nick
the
Martin, is Nick Martin flying around? Like, those are the things we have to look forward to seeing, because it sounds like, from all accords with Kyle Shanahan, starters will barely play, if at all. And so you won't get to see that. That's the big thing about today too. It's not like Brock Purdy can get his what we call get his lick back. He can't get his lick back. Like, it's you got beat up, and now you don't even get a chance to get that lick back. So that's tough. But you got to look for some of these younger guys to just do they make some plays here and there. I would love to see a couple tackle for losses by Alfred Collins.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about nicknames. It might be too early to be nicknaming, but like Collins, West, Mykel Williams, if they could earn like starting job together. My son's been playing got him a Switch. He's been playing a lot of Zelda, and he loves Zelda. What about the Triforce for those three players, those three rookies? The Triforce.
Zelda was the game like on Nintendo back in the day, right? Like
they kept making them, man. There's a lot of Zeldas. And you know what's funny is I've only played the very first Zelda, NES style, 8-bit, and like the newest, not the newest, but the second, Breath of the Wild is called. I played that one now with my son. It was a really fun game. It was cool. And I've missed everything in between as it pertains to The Legend of Zelda. But Triforce, I like that nickname, Triforce. Mykel Williams, Alfred Collins, CJ West, but they got to start together before they can earn that nickname. And I can't wait to see at least two of those guys on the field on Saturday. That's what I'm going to be looking for, man. Can you stop the run? You got to be able to stop the run. I'm not even worried about tackles for loss or sacks by those guys. I want to see them push the pocket. I want to see them be stout and beastly against the run, if nothing else.
You're using a Zelda reference. These guys have no idea what that is. Like, dude, I was playing
about it, man. These guys, the latest Zelda game came out in like 2022 or something, 2023.
I don't even know these guys play. I mean, they play video games, but a lot of these athletes, they just like sit on Instagram and watch other people talk about, I don't know, whatever. It's kind of weird. I was playing Lil Wayne at practice today, and guys were like, "Who is this? He sucks." So I'm like, "Okay, you guys."
Oh, God. Getting old, man. All right. Let us know in the comments, YouTube, on Twitter, at BD Peacock, at Coach Crocky. What are you looking for? What is the one thing you can't wait to see from the 49ers against the Denver Broncos in preseason week number 1? I am actually going on vacation next week. I believe the game is going to be happening while I'm in the air in a flight. I'm going to the mountains of Idaho. And I don't even know what my internet situation is going to be like. So I might not be involved at all in any Locked On 49ers until later in the week next week. So I would like to get involved post game. And if I'm able to watch the game, I'm going to try to get on and do a little post game. But it might be just Croc and some special guests here for the next few episodes before I get back from my vacation. So everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy some actual football. And Croc will for sure be back with you guys very soon. And hopefully I will be too. And talk to you then right here. Locked On 49ers.